guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 13. So here's the deal, it is Sunday morning and I didn't film that much footage yesterday, so I decided just to film a coffee and Q&A this morning. That way I'm still bringing you content, but I did kind of take a day off. So anyways, to continue Vlogmas as I promised, I will do a morning coffee and Q&A. I'm out of breath because I just set up my camera. Okay, so what I did this morning about an hour and a half ago, I just asked you guys to leave me some questions for today's video. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through some of those. Let's see. By the way they changed the new Instagram like layout and format for posting stories and reels and everything drives me nuts. There's so many extra steps, which I feel like they should make social media easier to use because then it keeps people on the platform. Like, I have a huge headache with Instagram for spread problems. Alright. See, I'm still sitting here staring at my phone because I don't even know how to use it. Alright. Since I'm cutting back on my coffee, I decided that I would just, you know, have 1 cup a day. Look how big this cup is. I have a big head in general, and it's like the size of my head. And yes, it's filled with coffee to the top. Ooh, it smells good though. I just brushed my teeth for this video, so the coffee's gonna taste so gross. But I actually like love doing these sit down videos because I feel like we're hanging out. And sometimes when I'm like on YouTube, I just want to listen to people talk while I'm working in the corner. So it's a nice change up. I like listening to people talk. I don't know why. And it's like a podcast without being a podcast. It just gives my brain something else to focus on. Anyways, I'll get to the questions. Literally, like the first 5 questions are about weight. I'll do this. What brand of coffee do you like most? I kind of go back and forth with coffee brands. I started buying the Sumatra Organic Fair Trade Roast on Amazon, and I had that for like 2 years straight. And then we decided to make our lives easier and we switched over to the Keurig. So right now I'm using their medium roast, and then I also have their medium roast and a decaf. I like to try my hardest not to drink 2 cups of coffee a day, even if it is decaf. I'm really trying to break the habit, and I know just drinking decaf also gives me like the illusion that I'm drinking coffee, so it doesn't help as much. It helps me internally, but like mentally I definitely have a caffeine addiction when it comes to coffee. So yeah, those are 2 of my favorites right now, but I love Sumatra the best if I had to choose my favorite type of roast. I own my own business and it's exhausting, stressful. How do you make it worth it to you? So this is a really good question because even though a lot of people don't want to consider a blog a business, it is, because I pay business taxes and I do everything that a business would have to do. And I make money from it, and I am my own boss, so technically yes, it is a business. But I think what I've learned throughout the years is you have to pick and choose what you like about it and what you enjoy doing and focus on those parts. And if you can, hire out to have someone else focus on the parts you don't like, because then it becomes less stressful, it becomes less exhausting, and you're actually enjoying it, because you have to think back to why you started the business in the first place. You were either good at something, you either enjoyed something, and you have to stick to that platform. And then if you can, hire out to have somebody do the things that don't bring you as much joy. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to hire out. Sometimes handing someone else the torch is really, really hard. There's things like I absolutely hate doing when it comes to my business. Like, I talked about this in the gingerbread video, but I absolutely hate trends. And I think this business that I'm in right now is all about trends. So right now I'm kind of torn between picking and choosing whether I want to hop on trends or keep doing what I love, because if I'm not doing what I love, then my business is going to go down because it's going to show. But I would say you have to manage your time and make your own life and personal life a priority as well. You can't just be on business mode 24/7. You got to find that good balance, because then it isn't stressful and exhausting. So invest in help. stay true to why you started the business and focus on doing things that you love and making it more fun. And then kind of analyze your day, decide, you know, are these things worth it? Are they stressing me out? Can I hand that torch to somebody else? Or can I focus a day on this part of the business that I don't love, so the rest of the week I can do everything I love about it? So I guess just managing your time and handing over the torch to people to help you out is very, very important. And then if you don't love something, ask yourself why you're doing it, because at the end of the day, money is wonderful, but it's not the answer to everything. Oh, that's sweet. Hair product you can't live without. Right now I've been using the, I'm gonna say it wrong, the Kristen S, I think it is, detangler conditioner. And since my hair has gotten so unbelievably long, it mats and it tangles when I'm in the shower, and I need to be better about brushing my hair every single night, but I don't. But right now that is the most amazing hair product. And my wet brush, like that is what gets through my knots without having my hair basically fall off and split into ends. I don't use a blow dryer. I don't use a straightener. And what else can I love? I really like the Pureology shampoo. I use that now and then. And Alpha Parf oil, the argan oil that you put in your hair. I do it on like day 3. My hair is like not the cleanest, and I'll go ahead the night before and I'll take a bunch of that oil and I'll just rub it all over my ends. Oh, good bitch. I'll rub it all over my ends, I'll wrap it up, and then I'll go to sleep. And then the next day when I wash my hair, it's so soft. And all of their leave-in conditioner and their products, I am obsessed with them. I know that company is just gonna eventually grow and people catch on because their stuff is amazing. All right, what are 3 top secrets to weight loss in the beginning? I'll answer this one because I think I can do it tastefully and in a non like pushy weight loss type of way. I think you have to find what works for you because not every body type is the same. So for instance, I have a friend that can work out 5 times a day. She can eat kind of whatever she wants, and she can just keep that cycle going. But for me, I have very, very high cortisol. So if I'm constantly having my heart rate up here, my body goes into stress mode, fight or flight, and I release all this cortisol and I end up gaining weight. So when someone is pushing diet advice on you, you just have to understand that not every body works the same, and what works for Susie might not work for Debbie. You just have to find what works for you, trial and error, talk to your doctor, and listen to yourself and no one else when it comes to that type of stuff. So when people try to push diet and health and fitness on me, I'm just like, oh, stop it. Because I know my body and nobody else knows my body other than my doctor. So definitely don't compare yourself to others. Find what works for you. For me, when I first wanted to lose weight back in the day, I was way overweight for my BMI and everything like that, and I definitely wanted a healthier lifestyle because gaining weight was not by accident. I was eating horrible, I was just not working out, I was just kind of in like just a weird phase in my life. And it all started when I was younger, just, you know, eating boxed foods and pizza rolls and McDonald's, and just it got way out of hand. And when you're not eating healthy, you don't crave healthy, but then when you're eating healthy, you crave healthy. So you kind of have to dive into it slowly, I guess. But I would say the 3 things that helped me are walking. I walked every day. I woke up in the morning and I went for a walk. I walked to college every single day, and I walked home. So that was an added 3 miles a day. I didn't do it in the winter in Iowa, obviously. And then another thing that I did was I stopped going to fast food restaurants because that was my downfall. I would go to fast food before high school. I would have fast food for lunch, and then sometimes I would have fast food after basketball practice or after theater practice. I loved fast food, and I probably had a fast food addiction, so I completely stopped eating fast food. Now you can eat healthier fast food, like better choices. For instance, my mom and I went for Chick-fil-A the other day and I ordered a grilled chicken sandwich without the bun because it's gluten in it, and then I just topped it with lettuce, tomatoes, and I had a couple fries. That is a healthier way of eating fast food. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't indulge now and then. I think everybody should have cheat days and eat what you want days, but I would just say, for me, dining out at fast food restaurants was the downfall for me. So I stopped going to fast food restaurants, I started walking, and I just started eating better. I was at home making turkey wraps, I was eating soup and crackers, and I was eating salads for the first time in my entire life. I would make sandwiches loaded in vegetables. I would have sides that were a little bit more portioned out rather than just taking the box and eating whatever I wanted, because I think everybody in the world could eat a whole box of crackers if you've set it in front of somebody. So I learned how to put the food in front of me, sit down and have a meal, and not drive to a drive-thru. So eating healthier, stopped going to fast food restaurants, drinking more water, and walking. I didn't run, I didn't lift weights, I simply just moved my body. Where's your favorite place to shop for clothes? I definitely have my go-to places that I love to shop. I love Old Navy, Versona, I'm obsessed with Loft, I like H&M, and I love J. Crew. Abercrombie & Fitch has definitely upgraded in the past couple of years. It's not really targeted for teenagers anymore. And where else? I know I'm missing something. Oh, Target. So those are the 7 places I pretty much buy all my clothes. And ASOS, I love ASOS. And there's probably a couple more. Oh, did I say Old Navy? I'm obsessed with Old Navy. Yesterday I went out to dinner and from head to toe I was completely Old Navy. What brings you joy? Simplicity brings me joy. I love when I'm just home drinking coffee, hanging out with Kyle, being with the dogs, and when the house is clean, cozy. Anything simple brings me joy, whether it's being in the kitchen cooking, but I'm a super homebody. I do like to travel to like little places 3 to 4 hours away from Charlotte and stuff like that, but honestly I love being in the comfort of my home and staying cozy, being surrounded by friends and family, but things like that bring me joy. What is your current workout schedule and routine? Right now I'm just focusing on walking a ton. I've been doing the Peloton a little bit, not a lot because I'm still trying to get used to like the butt part. It hurts so bad. I walk with my neighbor 4 to 5 times a week. Sometimes I'll go alone if she's working, but we walk 5 to 6 miles every single day in the neighborhood. And for me, that is an incredible workout because it doesn't raise my cortisol levels. I'm relaxed, it's stress-free, and I feel like my body responds so well to that. I was doing the Sweat app for a while and I did an entire 2 months of it, but the only problem is I hurt my lower back and I had sciatica in my leg, and so that still kind of bothers me a little bit. So I've been doing stretches and things like that, but right now for me, I love walking and hiking, and that's something I can stick to. And I would say that is my workout routine right now, and I do it every single morning. Do you have any interest in training for a triathlon in the future? Absolutely not. I love watching people train for triathlons and I love following people that do, but my body's not built for it. It's truly, truly not. I feel like I walk down the stairs and every single joint just pops and cracks. My brother actually did one with his girlfriend and now they are built for triathlons. Favorite Christmas traditions? I was absolutely one of those kids that was extremely unhealthily obsessed with Christmas. So some of my favorite traditions were definitely Christmas Eve. We'd go to church and we would have crab legs, and my brother and me and my mom and dad, we would just hang out around the house watching Christmas movies. And then when we grew up a little bit, moved to Iowa, we would have a huge Christmas Eve party the night before Christmas, and we had almost the entire neighborhood and town over it. That, like, the parties got huge. High school me thought that was awesome. But we always just had fun and celebrated on Christmas. But honestly, just waking up in the morning, even when I was older, and having the smell of cinnamon rolls in the house, and going downstairs, opening up like the stockings, and my dad would have the Santa hat on, and he would make my brother and I open one gift at a time, and he would throw it to us. So Christmas morning opening gifts lasted all day long, and that was one of my favorite parts about Christmas morning, is how long it lasted. It was so special. My parents always went all out, even when, you know, times were tough. They always made sure Christmas was like so magical and so amazing. My mom went all out when she would like eat the little carrots, and it was just always fun. And then Christmas night, my mom always made lasagna and salad and rolls and her strawberry dessert. So I've definitely brought on that tradition by making the crab legs, cooking lasagna, and another one of my favorite Christmas traditions is frosted sugar cookies. We left those for Santa every year. We decorated them every year, and we just used like the Pillsbury dough and things like that. But decorating cookies was one of my most favorite activities when I was younger. Do I have any New Year's resolutions? Resolutions would be definitely getting a few underlying health things taken care of this year. I think with, you know, the pandemic and everything, I've definitely stayed away from the doctor, even though I should be, you know, doing my regular appointments. I've been going through a couple of little health things this year that I am trying to tackle and be better, and hopefully by Monday I have another appointment that I'll get some answers. So I think keeping my health as the #1 priority this coming year is going to be one of the biggest resolutions for me. And then also, I've been working on a business venture that's separate from my blog, and I've decided to go full force starting in January and really push myself to make something grow. And I know it's annoying when people talk about something that's not public, but I do really want to keep this separate from my blog, because it's, for the first time in 11 years, I'm finally doing something monetary that has nothing to do with my blog, and it's kind of special to me. So I think that's going to be one of my New Year's resolution, is to just really push myself to be better in the new business adventure. Am I still playing tennis? I definitely haven't played tennis in a while. I think I played like 3 weeks ago, but I need to get back out there. One of the groups that I always met with in the summer, I felt so bad because we couldn't play tennis this year with the pandemic, and I miss them so much, and I always play tennis like twice a week with them. I am looking for a group a little bit closer, or being able to play doubles with a meetup or a clinic down here. So I definitely miss playing tennis. So hey, if you play tennis and you live in the Charlotte area, come on, call me, text me, or actually you can't text me or call me, but message me. I will definitely meet up and play tennis with you. Do you still struggle with your ED? I've dealt with one on and off my whole life, and it's so hard. I so understand the struggles of living with an eating disorder. I think the one thing I learned back when I was really going through it was that you will always have it as a mental illness, but you will learn how to cope with it, you will learn how to ignore it, and you will learn how to keep it, you know, contained. I think almost everybody has moments where they don't feel good enough, skinny enough, thin enough, pretty enough. I think I go through waves where there's sometimes where I'll like cry to Kyle and be like, oh, I walk every day, I eat so healthy, I'm gaining weight, I feel like disgusting. And I hate it when I have to go through that, and it is often, but it's not something I show because I don't want people to think that I'm complaining about the way I look, when I need to be better about how I need to be better about accepting myself for who I am, and the fact that I'm gonna be 30 in January and my body is changing and it is okay. I think that's really hard, especially when you do have a past of disordered eating and habits. Sometimes when I'm like falling into a bad mindset, I think back to how bad it was and where my brain and my mental state was at, and then I remind myself that I never ever ever want to be like that ever again, because no, weight is not worth, being skinny is not worth what went through my head. I was definitely not myself. I even look back, or like think back, like at that mindset and I was in, and I'm like, how did I get there? How? So I've definitely learned over the years how to accept myself, how to not let unhealthy habits take over. And I mean, now and then there's like a day where, hold on, I just have to stop this and turn it back on. There's definitely days where I'm so bad, and there's definitely days where I'm so good. I think what really helps is to let the people know in your life, that the people that are close to you in your life need to understand that talking about diets, talking about their weight, talking about the way you look is actually not okay. I think when somebody comments on your weight, whether it's skinny, bigger, what are you doing with your weight, you look great, it's still not healthy to hear those things, because then you're like, oh, my diet's paying off, or oh, I should keep going. It's that mindset. It's important to tell people that are close to you that you did struggle, so they can be a little bit more gracious and sensitive to how your mindset does work, and maybe to respect you in a way where they don't talk about diets and they don't talk about their weight or your weight when you're around them. That's really, really important. It's hard when you're on social media a lot and people will say things like, oh, you look healthier with more weight, or oh, you look pregnant, or you look really good, what are you doing? Like, those are comments that I get are meant to be nice, but sometimes they should be left unsaid. Shouldn't comment on somebody's body. Like, I know a person that has this thing where they'll go up to a person and they're like, oh my god, you look so skinny. Like, that's not a compliment. Like, tell her hair looks great, or tell her, like, haven't seen you in a while, how are you doing? Don't, first thing you say is like about their weight. That's just ridiculous. I don't know why that defines a person. I mean, I get it, you're probably saying it as a compliment, but it's annoying. I think if you're dealing with that unhealthy mindset and always, you know, wanting to be skinnier, wanting to be thinner, wanting to look a certain way, I think it's important to remember that you are enough, and that it's okay if you need to seek help or talk to somebody else. What helped me a lot was 2 years ago when I was dealing with a lot of health issues with my cortisol, and I was working out a ton. I was going to HIIT classes every day with the intent on getting fitter and getting thinner. And what was funny was I actually gained almost 15 pounds doing that because my cortisol was so high, and I wasn't burning fat, but I was still putting on muscle, and I just felt so disgusting. I didn't want to be on social media. I rarely took photos of myself. I hated myself. And I did go to a doctor, but I think the most important thing that happened in that situation was Kyle told me that, you know, maybe you should go see a therapist. And I was like, I don't want to go see a therapist. I've been through all of this. They judge you, they do this. But I ended up going and seeing a therapist for about a year. And every time I got in there, she like brought something out of me that I didn't even know was in me, and I just cried and I cried, because I think a lot of the time, like, eating disorders do come from underlying things that have happened. I did go through some traumatic things when I was younger and in my teens, my early 20s that most people in their life don't go through, and food for me was that one thing where I could control. But I think seeing a therapist and getting help was the absolute best thing for me, because I didn't have to talk to a family member or a friend or anyone that's going to say things that pamper the way I feel or are too sensitive to my emotions. And like a therapist will give you coping mechanisms that really help you when you're starting to feel a certain way or before you make unhealthy actions. So getting help really is like the best thing you can do for yourself. But I would say right now I'm probably in the healthiest mindset I've ever been. I mean, I'm human, so I have my days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so frumpy and disgusting, and it's usually like the couple days before my period, like every other woman. But I would say right now I've never felt happier. I'm definitely heavier than I've been in a while, but I feel fine. I mean, I get that, like, some days I'm like, oh, I wish I was this and that or whatever, but I've really learned to accept myself right now, and that I hope that helped. I know that was a little all over the place. Do you miss Iowa? I don't miss the fact that not a lot of things were around. Like, I didn't have my TJ Maxx and my Hobby Lobby and all of my favorite stores, but I definitely miss my family. I miss like snowy winters. I miss having like more open space and less traffic. Like driving out in the countryside was so beautiful. They have that here for sure. I don't think I would ever move back to Iowa, but there's so many times where like I get so nostalgic thinking of Iowa, and then I think it was back a couple years ago, and I did feel like home, but I don't think I would ever move back. But yeah, there's definitely parts of Iowa that I do certainly miss. How do you get up? How do you get up so early each morning? Honestly, there's days where I wish I didn't get up so early. Like yesterday, I went to bed at 11 because I was up making peanut brittle with my mom. Not yesterday, the day before yesterday, making peanut brittle with my mom, and my body still woke up at 5 o'clock, and my eyes were like painfully waking up, and I was just like, please brain, go back to sleep. Brain, please go back to sleep. And I had to get up. Same thing with this morning. I was up at 5. I go to bed really early. There's nights when I'm in bed at 8:30, sleeping like a baby. So I try to go to bed at like a 9 at the earliest, if I can make it that long. And then I just fall asleep, and then my body is like a clock, it just wakes up. But I've always been an early bird. Even when I was in high school, I was waking up at like 6 a.m. just to have coffee with my parents before high school. So I've always been a morning person. But if you are trying to be a morning person, I would say go to bed early, set an alarm. Even when you don't want to wake up at 6 a.m., get up every single day until your body is trained to do it. Because your body has that internal clock where it will catch on. What are you most looking forward to on your wedding day other than being married? I'm really excited about our photographer, but I think I'm most excited about our dinner underneath the trees. We have a vendor that's going to be bringing in all of the lights and the rustic tables with the warm candles down like the table, and I'm really excited that it's going to be intimate, and there's only going to be 11 people there, so I won't have to worry about running around and saying hello to everyone or feeling stressed out or overwhelmed. I'm just so excited for it to be intimate with only close family, and a super romantic day just spent chatting and drinking and eating, and obviously I'm excited for cake. But I'm just so excited, and I'm really excited for Kyle to see me in my dress. What is your favorite meal to make for a date night? Kyle and I love making, when I say Kyle and I mean me, I cook. For date night, I love making pad thai. It's one of my favorite meals. There's so many different ways to make it, but I think we make that and meatloaf the most. He loves cavatelli with broccoli, but I don't know. What else do I like to make? I would choose pizza over anything any time of the day, but he's not a pizza person, so that's where we clash. Favorite topic to write about on your blog? Other than my recaps, because I absolutely love doing those, I still love my travel guides. I think it's so fun to put those together. So traveling is definitely my favorite. And I love like the little small town features, like when I did Beaufort and Savannah. I just love doing just like the small town travel guides. I think they're so fun. Favorite restaurant in Charlotte? This is really hard. I love Haymaker. Barcelona is so good. I haven't been to that many restaurants lately, so there's probably so many more that I need to hit up. Love Living Kitchen. But I like to go to some restaurants in Fort Mill, which is where I live. So I love Spice, Napa. The Epic Chop House is new, which I love. Hobo's. What else? Killington's. Those are some of my favorite places. And I'm probably missing so many. Favorite way to move your body? Walking. And dancing, but I won't do that for you guys. Favorite breakfast ever? Am I allowed to say the McDonald's hotcakes? I haven't had those in like 11 years, but I remember them being so good. And the McGriddle is good. I love pancakes with syrup and maple sausage. Oh, it's so good. But there's so many good breakfasts. Cinnamon rolls. Healthy breakfast, I like avocado toast. And I do this like egg scramble thing where I make eggs, sweet potatoes, onions, peppers, tomatoes, spinach. And then I add in everything but the bagel seasoning and the habanero ranch with the Tessemae. Oh yeah, it's Tessemae habanero ranch. So good. Oh, and for favorite restaurant, Reed's Fine Foods in Charlotte South Park. Love that place. What has been your favorite and least part of having a lifestyle blog and vlog? Oh, there's so many more questions. I didn't even see these. I'll do a couple more. Favorite part is that I get to live my life, document my life, and I can always go back and read like things of like what I've been up to, and just having like that creative outlet has been my favorite part. Least favorite part, obviously like mean people. I don't like you. And just feeling like I have to showcase things. A lot of people don't respect your privacy. The pressure of trends and trying to live up to other people's expectations. And the fact that I get to work from home is nice, but I definitely think there's some days where I'm like, man, I would love to like work in an office with people, and then people in the office, when I say that, they're like, well, you're crazy. So I guess like you can never really have the best of both worlds, or you can, but you always want what you don't have. How many kids do you want? I definitely want 2 kids. Ideally, I'd like a boy and a girl, and if I had 2 boys, that's fine. If I have 2 girls, that's completely fine. I just want 2 healthy babies, but I definitely want 2 kids. When do you want children? Of course, I want to get married and I want to enjoy life a little bit more, but if God blesses me with children, then I will be grateful in whatever chapter of my life that's in. Tips on how to make it easier to get back to healthy eating workouts habits post-Christmas. So I think the problem is you're already looking in the future that you're going to just indulge in a ton of things at Christmas time, and then that you're going to need to hurry up and go on a diet during January. And so many people have this mindset. So if you can change that to the balance in December, then you won't feel like you need to just go on some crazy crash diet or jump into a healthy lifestyle in January. So what I do is I eat healthy as possible 80% of the day, and then now and then I will have a big salad, but I'll throw in some fried shrimp, or at the end of the day I'll have my ice cream. I just make sure that there's a balance. I don't just eat a ton of, hot cakes and pizza and dessert and then feel like I have to diet the next day, because that can get you in an unhealthy relationship with binge eating and restricting. And that's how it starts, when you're already thinking about the future. So I think the best thing to do is try to focus on having a balance and a healthy relationship with food right now, and not worry about what you're gonna have to do in the future to make up for everything you ate. Just go on walks, drink a lot of water, and find balance. If you could choose just one other place to live in apart from Charlotte, where would it be? I've always said to Kyle, like, there's so many places I'd want to live. If I could have a huge country house, not huge, like a pretty white country farmhouse in like Iowa, I would do it. I would love to live in those back neighborhoods in Buford, or I love the Big Island. Do you miss your townhouse at all? There's days where I definitely miss my townhouse. There's a lot less to clean, and right now it's so hard to furnish this place because there's so many more rooms and we didn't have all the furniture, and we also sold a lot of our furniture when I sold the townhouse. So it's a little empty and there's not as much character right now, and I'm trying to slowly do it, not just buy and then have everything. I want to have meaning when I do decorate the rooms and things like that. I definitely miss the warmth, but other than that, I love this new community. I love that we have the backyard for the boys, and I would never trade for what I have now for that townhouse, because I have the best neighbors. I have so much going on here. The location is so much better. So I do in some ways miss my town home, but I do love my new house. What is your favorite room in your house? That's hard. I definitely am loving my office right now. I'm almost done decorating it, but it's such a little cozy cove. I love my kitchen because I've always dreamed of having a kitchen with tons of windows and light, and it's so much easier to like take pictures and film in a kitchen with light rather than my other kitchen who had no windows and it was so dark. But I would say I can't really choose a favorite room because I love everything about our house, and a lot of that comes because we were able to work with the design studio and making it something that we love. But definitely the kitchen and my little cozy cove. And if the backyard counts, I love the backyard. But okay, my mom is actually here right now downstairs, so I'm gonna go ahead and go help her make some more peanut brittle because so many people put in orders to buy it. So she's making her little peanut brittle business right now, which is so exciting. I'm gonna put this video up, and if you guys want me to do another coffee and Q&A, let me know. But other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I know it's Monday by the time you're watching that. No, it's Sunday. I know it's Sunday. So I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. Close up your laptops, turn your phones off, turn everything off, go watch a movie, go eat a good meal, cuddle up, and enjoy your day. Happy Sunday, guys.